Knowledge is power.
Hey guys, what's up? GGNG here, and this is the A to Z Dotabuff Top 100 Replay Review Series. This is episode 10, and the hero is Bounty Hunter. This is the rank 12 Bounty Hunter on Dotabuff, and he has 1,400 games played and a 55% win rate. And he's probably around 6k MMR. This is a pretty decently skilled game. See some notable players. But anyway, this guy plays Bounty Hunter as an offlaner and sometimes as a roamer, but mostly as an offlaner. So pretty standard. Bounty Hunter usually doesn't go anywhere else, but I've seen Fear run him mid before, but that's extremely rare. So for starting items, he goes for a Tango, he picks up an Orb of Venom at the side shop, and he does grab 2 branches. Orb of Venom is pretty standard as a pickup on Bounty Hunter, just because when you're roaming and offlaning, most of the time you're sort of trying to look to chase down supports who are out of position, and the Orb of Venom really helps with that. Tangos are just good for regen, and the branches might just be because he gets an extra Shadow Walk out of it. It does put him at over 250. So he does go for Shadow Walk first, just to survive in the off lane. It does give you a nice bit of extra damage against any supports you might find with the Orb of Venom. You can very easily chase them down. Bounty Hunter does have really good armor and starting movement speed. Looks like he's just going to head back to the fountain after trading at the rune. The Earth Spirit is going to be in his lane for a little bit, so it looks like he's going to roam around this game instead of staying in the off lane. So Bounty Hunter is really good in terms of movement speed and armor, which makes it so that any support that he finds, usually he can just trade with and he'll win. Unless it's something like an ogre, then he definitely loses, but there's very few supports that he can't trade with early game. And we might see him do it sometime this game, but if you have Shadow Walk level 1, you can sort of do the Fade Time trick where you get 2 hits of Shadow Walk bonus damage off instead of 1. And he's just going to rotate mid and try to harass the mid laner. Gonna wait until he commits for a creep probably and go for it. So this is something you can do. Usually when the offlane isn't going well. Looks like he's gonna go for it, but unfortunately not gonna land a stun, so gank unsuccessful. But yeah, this is something that most bounty hunters do when they can't really do much in the offlane. Just roam around, try to pressure mid, force supports to rotate. So because he was ganking mid, both of these supports are probably trying to be more active, leave the offlaner alone. And you can scout for runes like that too. So far for the first 2 minutes, his ganks have been not too successful, but he is doing some nice scouting. So they're going to go on the Earth Spirit here. And that is first blood, unfortunately. Not much you can do about that. The problem with Bounty Hunter as a hero is that he doesn't contribute much to fights besides just hitting people and tracking. Looks like he's going to get the tail end of this impale here, but he should be okay. Earth Spirit's just going to go for it. Pretty dangerous. Wow, he was 1 hit away from dying. And this Earth Spirit looks like he's going to go down. So not such a great start, but it is pretty hard to go against a Lion Skywrath support combo. So level 1 Shadow Walk has a 5-second grace period where you can be in Shadow Walk and still have it off cooldown. It used to be exactly 15 seconds for the Shadow Walk and for the cooldown, but I think it got changed to 20 for the cooldown. Sorry, for the duration, and 15 for the cooldown at level 1. So he does go for Janata level 2. Again, probably just looking to catch out any supports who are out of position. Really good for chasing them down. Level 1 Shuriken isn't going to do too much to a support that's out of position. You really want the extra slow. So we'll see what item he picks up next. He's going to go for boots and probably just going to run mid again because he can't really do too much top.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Just checking around the map. Looking to see if he can help any lanes. Unfortunately, this is not such a great roaming game. If the Bad Rider was jungling, it would be pretty effective. Janata also helps if you're on the off lane to get CS for the guaranteed crit. There we go. So he... that's what I was talking about with the Shadow Walk double hit. So as you're fading into Shadow Walk, you can land a hit. The same way as if you were... I'm sure you've done this with a mid hero. Like if you grab an Invis rune, you can bottle after your first... after you pop the Invis, you can pop one bottle charge. And there he did it again. So instead of popping a bottle charge, he's hitting someone before he fully fades into invisibility. And that hit that he does before he fades actually gets the Shadow Walk bonus damage. So that hit's gonna have an extra... what is level 1? An extra 30 damage at level 1 and an extra 60 damage at level 2. And then he can pop out of Shadow Walk again and get the extra 30 damage as well. So you get the you get double damage from Shadow Walk if you do that. But anyway, at level 3 he does go for Shadow Walk again. Sort of curious. I mostly see he will go 1-1-1, but I'm guessing he doesn't think he's gonna have much use for Shuriken this game. He is pretty low mana all the time thanks to the anti-mage in his lane. And he does pick up a stick. Probably a smart choice against the tri-lane with a Skywrath and a Stout Shield. So this guarantees that if he meets a support alone, he will definitely win the trade.
Cold wind blows.
And level 4 he does pick up Shuriken. Shuriken has really weird scaling. I'm curious as to whether he's gonna actually max the Shuriken or do some weird skill build, because people are sort of there isn't really a consensus on the skill build. Shuriken has it has 100 damage level 1, 200 level 2, so it doubles level 2, and then it does 250 level 3, so it goes from 100% increase to like 25% increase, which is really strange. Level 3 only gives you plus 50 damage in return for, I think, 20 mana? Yeah, 20 mana, so it's like, it's extremely bad scaling from 2 to 3. And a lot of people just like to leave it at 2 and level something else. So we'll see what he does. Alright, get a Shadow Walk away from the lane so that he'll have it up when he actually gets to the lane. That way he can either have 4 Shadow Walk hits or 3 Shadow Walk hits. Looks like he's gonna go for this Lion. And nice. He did the Shadow Walk fade hit again. And ooh, he actually uses his wand to break the Shadow Walk so that he isn't slowed by dust. So pretty cool thing he did there. It would also work if you had treads or Basilias. You can toggle in on and off, or toggle your treads. But if you are slowed by dust, probably just better to break out of your invisibility since you're not a Clinks, and your Shadow Walk actually doesn't give you any extra movement speed. So pretty neat trick he did there. But if you were paying attention to him going on the Lion, he did use the Shadow Walk trick again. That way, when he actually killed the Lion, he was still in Shadow Walk, despite needing that last hit to finish him off. The Shadow Walk thing does get a bit harder to do once your Shadow Walk is maxed, because the fade time is actually reduced. But it is still doable if you time it correctly. And looks like he's going to backstab the Skywrath. Unfortunately, a bit too fast here. But by level 5, he does have 2 levels in Shuriken and 2 levels in Shadow Walk and a value point in Janata. And he's going to pick up Tranquil Boots. So a lot of people like Tranquil Boots on Bounty Hunter just because he roams around a lot. And you get extra movement speed when you're in Shadow Walk. Not extra movement speed, but the Tranquil Boots just help you move around a bit faster, which is always nice. With track, you actually move quite fast. Besides Tranquil Boots, the only other boots I really see Bounty Hunters get is Phase Boots. Just because the extra damage really helps with your Janata.
Burn, baby, burn.
Alright, so now he's just gonna sit mid.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
And he realizes there are sentries there. So, for his movement for these first 10 minutes, he's pretty much going for the supports, like the squishiest heroes on the other team. So the Lion, the Skywrath are his highest priority targets. Killing the Windrunner or the Anti-Mage is going to be really hard, because they're... and the Bat Rider as well, because they have really good escape skills and they're pretty tanky this early on. But he's going to scout this Bat Rider out, and he's going to run at the Skywrath. And just run away. Just creating some space. Alright, so he still doesn't have track yet. So probably a bit underleveled, but he has been running around a lot. Making sure his troll is okay. We'll see what item he goes for next. I've seen a lot of bounty hunters get Urn. Bottle is pretty nice just because you're always moving around a lot and you have a high likelihood of getting the runes.
Radiant's towers are fortified. Do as you please with that information.
But it looks like Earth Spirit does have Urn, and he decides to go for Yules. Pretty interesting. You can Yules off the Skywrath Silence. It's good for setting up the Lina and the Earth Spirit. And you can use the Bat Rider as soon as he jumps in, so pretty decent for that as well. And also does just makes him move a lot faster and sustain his mana, which is always nice. And it looks like he's gonna reveal a smoke here, and he just instantly dies to a seal plus finger. Unfortunate. So the playstyle of Bounty Hunter in this patch is sort of, I would say it's sort of weak, because Bounty Hunter sort of relies on snowballing with track gold, and because of the comeback mechanics, it's really hard to do that. And Bounty Hunter as a hero is not so great when you're behind, just because he doesn't really contribute much to team fights or ganks besides the track. So it's really awkward to play him right now. Though it is pretty popular to play him as sort of the, I guess you would call it the pile I die way of playing it, where you just play as a 5 position and you sort of scout and make space or feed the enemy team. But he is just going to track this Bat Rider here.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Always good to just keep track of the heroes in your lane. Just throw out a track if you see them. If you do have the mana sustain, of course.
Killing spree. A dominant performance. Double kill. Radiant's middle tower is being
And his team is fighting mid. Looks like he's gonna try to run there, but I think they won this without him. So
tower taking damage. Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
the majority of his games, he either goes Tranquils and he builds into something like an Urn Vlad's, just to support his team and provide aura and healing. Or if he's like really doing well, he goes phase boots, Vlad's, and then he goes something like BKB Desolator or Sanjin Yasha. And he sort of plays this assassin type role instead of sort of a utility role. Again, it really depends on how well you're doing. Because Bounty Hunter is not a farmer. The only thing he does is get gold off of hero kills. Okay, so level 7 he has 2-2-2-1. Sort of unorthodox, I would say. I don't see this too often. Though, it's not that weird. I think it's pretty... Actually, it makes a lot of sense. Just because the scaling on Shuriken is so bad. If you think about it, 50 magical damage compared to an extra 25% physical damage on the crit. And again, he's just going to go for the easiest kill on the Skywrath. Unfortunately, doesn't get it. And he is going to die here. So as Bounty Hunter, your job in like small skirmishes is basically just to go for the squishiest hero and just burst him with your like physical burst in Janata and just Shuriken. And that's usually pretty good to do. But as I was saying, the skill build makes quite a lot of sense if you think about it, because an extra level in Shuriken is 50 magical damage, and Janata gives you an extra 25% of your physical damage. So right now he has 75. 25% of that is... Oh, math. 18? Is that correct? Yeah, like 18. So, Janata would give you, what, an extra, like, 30 magical damage? Not even 30 because of magic reduction, which is a lot higher early game than armor reduction. But Janata also has the cooldown advantage, and Shuriken costs more mana. So it's not that big of a damage loss. Alright, looks like they're beating this tower. Skywrath smartly cancels his TP. Alright. So he's gonna scout this Bat Rider. And unfortunately, it looks like the gank did not go so well. Oh, he gets invis sniped by the Windrunner. He was a bit indecisive there because he like walked back and forth for the Bat Rider. I think if he just committed on the Bat Rider kill, he might have gotten it. Oh, unfortunately, they get wiped for that. Alright, so 1-3-0, not the best game, but he is playing decently, I would say. Like, he definitely knows how to play his hero, and that's really what we're looking for. I don't care too much that he is not owning. But good gank. Always make sure to get your track off before you commit on a kill. That's basically what your hero is. You just want to track as many people as possible so that your team gets the gold advantage. You actually get quite a bit of gold yourself. I think it was changed to 150 for a level 1 track. 200, Jesus. Alright, so if you're near a track or you track a hero and you get the kill, it's an extra 200 gold for yourself. So, wow, I did not know it was changed to that much. It's a lot. That's basically double the kill gold early game. Alright, so his sort of initiation spell usage order, it was Janata hit, toss the shuriken in between your attack cooldown, so you're not wasting any time with your spell animation, and then hit them right afterwards, and then try to land in a Shadow Walk hit while you're fading. And obviously you're going to track in between the second hit as well. I don't know if people understand what I'm talking about when you sort of want to cast spells in between attack animations. I think this is pretty basic stuff that people learn when they start playing Dota. But what you want to do is, in between attacks, you want to cast spells just so that you don't waste any of your time between your attacks to use your spell animation, if that makes sense. Get the track off, and don't think they're getting this kill, but it was a pretty decent fight, especially since they had Aegis. So level 9, he does max Shuriken. So I'm not actually sure if the scaling for Janata is, if there's like some timing between level 1 and level 2. 10 seconds as opposed to 12 seconds. I'm not too sure actually, but I guess this is the most effective build. He's played 1400 Bounty Hunter games. I think he would know.
Quite a spree.
I guess the level 1 Janata hit is a bit too long. 12 seconds is pretty much your Shadow Walk time. And if he has level 2 Janata, he can get 2 Janatas off before his Shadow Walk cooldown is up. But it looks like he's going Tranquils, Yules, and straight into Desolator. Pretty interesting build. Shuriken Toss does now have that effect where it'll bounce to any tracked units within a 900 range, so pretty handy to keep note of if you're ever out of range for a Shuriken Toss. You can always try to track them and then toss to a creep or toss to a hero, because the track range is actually quite long, much longer than the Shuriken Toss range. Looks like he's going to decide to go S and Y. So priority track targets, definitely the Bat Rider you want to keep track of. And I would guess the Lion and the Anti-Mage are pretty important to keep track of as well. But obviously you just want to track whoever you're going for the kill on. Ooh. So he tried to get the Shuriken Toss on the Bat Rider there, but unfortunately it was out of range. He tossed at the Lion, but the Bat Rider was a bit too far away.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
So it looks like Mass TP is top. Sort of strange. Just from his team, not from him, but... So level 10, he has 3 levels in Janata. And it looks like he's just going to max Janata from here on. So ever since he was like level 7, he's been with his team basically, just looking for kills. And even though the kills haven't been successful, like the fight in top, in the top jungle, they weren't like good fights, but he's still trying to fight with his team just because that's really what you want to do as bounty hunter. You can't really be farming in a lane. It's just a waste of a hero, and you don't really use the farm that well. You farm heroes much faster because of your track bonus goal. Tracking the lion, high priority target. That's gonna go for him. Oh, really good canceling the Batrider's blink there. Just hit him once and run away. Oh, that's unfortunate. He runs right into a sentry.
More deaths, and there's a third.
So he is going for Sandra Yastra. A lot of people seem to like the mass movement speed build on Bounty Hunter. And I'll say it's pretty nice. This helps you kite around fights a lot better and chase people down, which is what you really want to be doing. Alright, so it looks like he's going top for the Batrider, and we'll see how he goes for this gank. Oh, Zelina actually misses her stun. Should not happen. Oh, that's not good. Track and toss the hero. Oh no. Alright. So gotta make sure to shadow walk out of vision. So notice how he waited until the line was downhill from him and then he shadow walked. Because even though it has 100% uptime, there still is a fade time when you recast it. So you do have to be out of vision when you recast or shadow walk, or else people will notice. Unfortunate timing on the Yules. Oh, good swap by the bench. This guy has really strange camera placement. And with his anti-mage actually, pretty nice illusion juke there. This whole game is sort of like a clusterfuck. I don't really know what's going on. This troll is throwing. Nice. Somehow they won that fight. Alright, this game is supposed to be very high skill. Like, not like very high skill in terms of like the game placement on Dotabuff, but like, there's at least 2 6K players in this game. So, and this is on EU server, so it's not one of those games where you have like a 6K on each team and everyone else is like garbage, 4K. But, there's been some questionable decisions this game, and some bad spell usage. In my defense, for picking a Bounty Hunter game, no one really plays Bounty Hunter. And even the pros who play Bounty Hunter, it's always some like strange, like either they were like rush Dagon 5 with brown boots, or they do some like right click safe lane shit. This was the only guy that I found that had a consistent build and a consistent role. But he's playing well. I'm not gonna actually like flame. He's playing pretty well. Just the game is sort of clowny. Alright, so he has Yasha now. Tranquil Boots Yules. Moves at 489. With tracker on him, he definitely moves at 522. And when his team is moving, he is going to be the first one because he does have invis. So pretty good for scouting. Looks like they're going to try to track down this anti-mage. If he can get a track off on him, it'll be pretty good for killing. Looks like I'll get the lion instead. And they instantly burst the lion. Pretty nice. And making sure to get the track off before they get the kill. I wonder if you can see how much track gold people get. Huh, not really. But that was a kill on the 2 supports. And it was a 1500 gold swing. Which shouldn't happen at this stage of the game. Let's see what the... Yeah, Radiant are actually ahead in net worth, but killing 2 supports gives them a 1500 gold swing just because of track. So pretty powerful. Unfortunately, because you build up such a huge gold lead, if you die, then people get it back. Which is why the comeback mechanics have really hurt just playing the hero in general. Like any hero that relies on snowballing with gold and is as sort of squishy and doesn't really contribute to team fights as Bounty Hunter. It's pretty weak. They get the Yules. Nope. So he's gonna go for Vlad's after he finishes the Yasha. He isn't really hitting anything. I guess he just wanted the movement speed from the Yasha. And the Vlad's will be really good for the Troll. Good for the Lina and Earth Spirit too, I guess. Yeah, but with his build, he can just basically be all over the map just because of how fast he moves. I will admit that Bounty Hunter is actually one of my favorite heroes to play, just because you can run around doing shit instead of just farming. Even though farming wins games, like farming is pretty much how you win like 90% of your games. But sometimes you just want to run around and hit things. So he's sort of being annoying, making space. Forced 3 heroes bottom and 2 of them are tracked, so his team knows exactly what's going on. And people do this thing where like they'll sort of bunch around the tracked hero and you can track other heroes as well, which is probably something you shouldn't do. If someone is tracked on your team, you probably need to sort of stay away from them so you don't get tracked as well. Or you need to just remove the track with a Yules or a Manta or something.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower is in pieces. Radiant's Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
And you can shadow walk while TPing, by the way. Most of this anti-mage is gonna die. Actually, it was only the 2 supports and Earth Spirit. So you can shadow walk while you're TPing. And it looks like he's just gonna run back towards his team, get the track off. And Troll is quite a hero, as is Earth Spirit.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower under fire. Dire has fortified their towers. Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Is this really happening?
Under fire. Dire's bottom tower is increased. Dire's
Wow.
barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Alright, I guess they just roxed.
Barracks has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under siege. Radiant's
Yeah, this Batrider is pretty scared to go in on the Troll, just because the Bounty Hunter is invisible with Yules. And there's an Earth Spirit there too to pull him out.
Radiant's top tower
But he does have his Vlads now. So he can just run around being invisible. Auras do show when you're invisible. So it's different from Dota 1. In Warcraft 3 Dota, when you had auras and you were invisible, they didn't actually work. But in Dota 2, they actually show, and they work if you're near creeps. Nice Yule set up for his team. And I'm gonna toss at the Batrider to get the bounce to the Windrunner. He's maximizing damage. This Bounty Hunter is really good about getting his tracks off right before kills, which is pretty nice. And I think that's game.
two down. Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
And I guess some BM pausing here. Some random typing in Russian or whatever this is.
Pushing. Was it? Okay, never mind. Everyone just get bottom. Dire's middle tower is now button dead. Dire's middle barracks are under it. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Just to go over what we saw. Try to use your Shadow Walk. The Fade Time trick. It really increases your damage output. Go after the supports in early game. Pretty much in the entire game actually you should be going after supports. Just so that you can burst them before the team fight starts. And keep your track on the high priority targets, so the supports who can sort of stay in the back, and any initiators you want to have your track on. Also use your shuriken toss on targets who aren't tracked in team fights, so that it bounces to heroes that are tracked. And always make sure to get your track off before kills happen to ensure that your team gets the gold and that you get the gold as well. Also in big team fights, sort of just want to stay invis until your Janana is up. Go for a hit on support and then fade back into invisibility. That way you can do the most damage and sort of keep the supports on their toes. I'm sorry this game was sort of boring. Like I didn't even have fun watching this one, to be honest, but I don't think we're gonna get a super exciting bounty hunter game unless you want to see a stomp with like Dagon 5 E-Blade, but that's not really something you can learn too much from. But yeah, anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll come up with the next one pretty soon, I think. I think it's Broodmother, I'm not too sure. But yeah, let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys for the next one.